Greetings, America, the UK, South Africa, Canada, and of course, our large following in Bolivia. My name is Jack. That's a fact. And welcome to Worldwide Ramblings for June 25, 25. If man is still alive, and apparently we're hanging by a fine thread. And Teresa Panel was the first to enter our domain, the Kingdom of Nye, from Pahrump, Nevada. No, I've never been there. Any rumors that I ever visited the chicken ranch in Nevada are grossly exaggerated. Karen Phillips, hello, Jack and everyone. Elaine Peterson is here. Hi, Jack and everyone. Who's here? I don't know. I'm only operating on 3 cylinders. Only 3. So sometimes, it goes to the 4th one and it simply misfires. Thank you for hitting the Cash App, Elaine Peterson. Already, I'll mention that a little bit later on. But thank you so much. Heather, hello. 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 Is it me you're looking for? I bet you're looking for Susie Q. That's Susie Young. Hello, Susie. Nonstick Pam Donnelly. Hi, Jack. Hi, what's been going on with you, Pam? What's the deal? What's the deal? Darlene Koberstein joins us as well. Hi. Jupiter's Realm. In the 3rd quadrant tonight, I understand. Hi there. John Udison. Hello, Nebraska here. Home of the king of late night, Johnny Carson. Is there any monuments anywhere within your geographic path? Not sure what town Johnny Carson was from in Nebraska. There must be a tribute fairly close to you. Shelley 3, hi, Jack and everybody. I remember when she was just Shirley, too. Yeah. I remember when Republicans could get elected in this city I'm talking to you in. Now they can't even get on the ballot. Tell you that story in a little bit. Let's see. Rhonda Wolf. Hi, Jack. Hello, Jack and family. Tim and little Tim Spencer. Jack, I'm a fan. Well, that's nice. I never really had fans, as I've said this before, in radio. I had people who enjoyed my radio shows. And certainly when I came on here in 2016 on YouTube, I didn't have any fans that I knew of. It wasn't until maybe in 2018 when we started talking about this pastor whose name I always forget. You know me. I'm so forgetful now. Pastor Bob Joyce. Sue Pelham is here, catching you live, Jack. Welcome, Sue Pelham. Brenda Sweeney. Hey, Jack and gang. Shelley is putting up a bunch of pink hands, as is Rhonda Wolf. Well, we'll put that in honor of breast cancer, even though it's not breast cancer month. My throw in the back better describes what month it is. Why don't the veterans get a whole month, huh? When is heterosexual month? I always forget. When is heterosexual month? Do you know, John Udison? You're operating on more cylinders than I am, huh? Well, I'm really not up to speed, to be honest with you, but something magical happens when I come on here. And the fact that I didn't get my little nap in is a concern. In the recliner, some of my best naps are in the recliner. In fact, all of my naps are in the recliner. Very rarely do I come up here. If I'm coming up here in the morning or afternoon, say to sleep, that means we probably had a real early appointment. Oh, we've got a real early one on August 15th. There's no chance of getting any sleep. This, surgery is torture for everybody concerned, right? In a sense. But we're so happy that Karen has a very good surgeon. Comes highly recommended by my GP, Dr. Kapai from the Philippines, who I've known since he and I were both much younger men. And my nose is itchy now. My nose is itchy. I live in, you got to say that careful. Now, wait a minute. No, there's only Norfolk, Virginia. Is that what I'm thinking of? I didn't know there was a Norfolk, Nebraska. See how I'm stressing the folk part? Because that's not what people often say. It really isn't. I don't know about where you are, but in the other Norfolk, which I'm thinking is Virginia, but I'm not sure. I'm not positive about it. Shelley is stoking the fire in the Trump train. She loads the coal. She loads the coal because, Trump likes coal. And then she says, "Hi, Pastor Bob." We are your fans. We are the world. We are the children. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. Bob Dylan, that's the song, that's the lyric that Michael Jackson gave Bob Dylan to sing. And he said, I don't even believe that. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. He didn't believe we can save our own lives because you got to serve somebody, as he said in the album Slow Train Coming. You can be the president of the United States, you can be the CEO, but you got to serve somebody. It may be the devil or it may be the Lord, but you got to serve somebody. Good song for Mr. Zimmerman, Robert Zimmerman. Yes, thank you, Elaine Peterson, with your yellow hands, both large and small. Susan Duquette. How do you feel about your new mayor to be? It's not like it's not on my mind. That'll be the end of New York City if that happens. That'll be like the final blow. I mean, Kathy Hochul's trying to kill the whole state. Now she wants $50 million on a station in a state that's way over budget, way in the red already, and she wants $50 million for the families of the immigrants that are either staying behind or what have you. They don't have to go. Maybe they're legal and their husband wasn't. He was probably someone who had a record because that's what they're going after first. And so she wants $50 million. That should just up the congestion pricing in Midtown Manhattan. Go into Midtown Manhattan with your car weekdays and you end up paying congestion pricing. It's insane. Mom Donnie is who you're talking about. I guess he's the comptroller now, Mom Donnie, and he edged out Andrew Cuomo in the primary and a few others. Cuomo did okay, but he is, I just want to call it like it is and not say stuff, but I'm going to say stuff. I'm going to say he is the free stuff person's dream. He wants city-owned grocery stores. They tell me they have those in other places. You go there and there's not much on the shelves. City-owned grocery stores, free buses, free trains. He wants to take out a loan for I don't know how many billions of dollars. I want to say $50 billion. remember, the city is dying in debt, and he wants to take out a loan for $50 billion for affordable housing. For affordable housing. He hates Jewish people, absolutely hates them. I wish I was going to get some of the quotes together next time. I was going to get some of the quotes together, and it's just horrendous. Those students that don't even know their ass from their elbow that are in front of well, various universities, including Harvard and in the city, various various universities, including NYU. Um, they would love this guy. They would love this guy. Of course, Letitia James is all for him. Um, Ocasio Cortez, AOC, is for him. And Chuck Schumer doesn't know what to do. He's terrified of being uh, primary challenge for the Senate by AOC. So what do I think of Mr. What's his name? And I'm just learning about him. I think there goes my pension probably. he is he is he is not just a progressive. He's not just a socialist. He's a communist, and it's not what we need in New York City. There's a Mike Gallagher used to be on the radio in New York. He's on around the country now. He says, "Oh, I should have that up. I was going to get that up, and I forgot about it." Mike Gallagher speaking about this guy, saying there were enough fools in New York City to have this guy win the primary. So only a few people care about this, so I'm not going to go on and on about it. Curtis Lewa, I don't know. He'll be the Republican choice. I love Curtis. He'd do a great job. We shall see. We shall see. And Cuomo could run and split the ticket that much more because he started a whole new party. I forget what they're called. No, it's not philanderers for democracy. And then, of course, there's the mayor who's running as an independent. He's looking better and better all the time, Mayor Adams, So we shall see. But as Mike Gallagher said, why would you want to go to New York City? Don't bother going. You're taking your life into your hands. Government has gone to sleep. They're not honoring their commitment, their oath. There's a lot of stupid people there. A lot of these people that just want the free stuff. And they are, we are seeing now XYZ millennials destroying parts of America. And their next target is New York City. You got a mayor so stupid in Chicago that he's actually worse than Lori Lightfoot. That falls on the voters. That's how stupid the voters are in Chicago. And if you're one of my viewers from Chicago, I'm probably not talking about you because, you got it going on. But there's enough stupid people in Chicago. And, L.A., same thing. Terrible leadership. You got what you deserved. You got what you deserve. When it affects you, remember that. Okay, Elaine? Let's see here. So I guess I answered you, Susan. I guess you know how I stand. Shelley is announcing tonight that she's a lesbian. Take back the rainbow. Oh, I see. Okay. I didn't read that first. Take back the rainbow. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Let's give the veterans a whole month. I'm all discombobulated after that, Elaine. And of course, we've had this heat, which will be gone by Friday. 69 for the high on, but today it was hotter than a Mormon on his or her honeymoon. No, it would be the guy. The girl would be sweating bullets, sweating bullets, saying, "Oh dear, no. Why did I ever say I do? Why did I say it? John Udison, what am I talking about? Norfolk, Nebraska. That's what we're talking about. Brenda Sweeney, I live near Norfolk, Virginia. So I got the Norfolk right. But we don't say Norfolk if we're there, do we? This is funny story about when I was helping produce my pastor's radio show, Pastor John Torres. And there's a place somewhere that's listed in the Bible, and he basically pronounced it Shittim. And my coworker who actually put the package together, I did the open and the close. It was Joe that would put it all together for a 29-minute broadcast. And Joe and I went over to his house to do the open, close, and announcers. And he told me, listen to this. And we listened to that part where he says, shit 'em. I think that's how I remember it. And we talked to Pastor. We said, you really want to pronounce it that way? You really want to pronounce it that way? And he was, it wasn't that important to him. It wasn't that important to him. Joe did something that changed his pronunciation. I wouldn't have done this because without Pastor's absolute consent, he changed it to the he was saying he took something from another sermon or something, and Pastor ended up pronouncing it Shittim. So we told Pastor about this, and he was laughing, and I said, whatever you do, Pastor, please don't ever talk in a sermon about Norfolk, Virginia. Don't ever talk about Norfolk, Virginia. And he thought for a minute, why is he saying that? Why is he saying that? He said, oh, I got it. Hey, you're looking out for me. You're looking out for me. Is people understand what I'm saying here? Oh, dear. For sure, says Susan. Hello, Jack. Fancy Nancy. How are you, Nancy? Welcome. He wants to freeze rent, give 30 hours to start a job tax. The rich. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. He wants to defund the police. So you're going to, you'd have total anarchy. You'd have totally anarchy. Trump would have to call in the National Guard. And the Supreme Court seems to be backing him up that he has the authority to do that. So that's good. I've been noticing less on the shelves of the grocery stores, really. Of course, you live in Calcutta, so it's not surprising. He's not even born in America. I heard AOC and Bernie love him. Well, I know AOC does. I saw him she was right next to him, And Bernie, sure, why not? Of course. But he's much more vicious than Bernie. You're so vicious. You hit me with a flower. You do it every hour. Oh, baby, you're so vicious. Anybody know who sang that song? Anybody? I would be surprised if somebody did. Well, here's Linda Justice Al Dente. Sorry I'm late, everyone. That's okay, Linda Justice Al Dente. We will pretend you have a hall pass. Oh, Neo. I saw another funny saying. Why don't I put on my glasses so I can actually read you? I put on my cheap new Walmart glasses. These are going to fall. I know one of them is going to fall apart. I saw another funny saying today. It said it was so hot outside, my shadow went inside and gave me the middle finger. Okay. Sounds like a Rodney Dangerfield line. Um, Elaine Peterson and Nancy DeMarco being greeted by Jackie Wurlitzer, Oregon. Hockey 92.7 FM is here saying hi, Linda. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Rhonda Wolf, the best index, the heat index. Why did I say the best index? Was 107 yesterday. It might have been that here when I was in the pool at my daughter's. I am a little burnt. Yeah, I mean, if the pool becomes a hot tub, but if it, the thing is that we have these lovely friends, Christine and Larry. If you look at the 1975, the 50th class reunion video that I did last Friday, you'll meet Larry talking about his songs here on YouTube. And they have a pool out there in the town of Wallkill. And they put up an open invitation, just come on over today. Well, the pool, which is a nice round pool, and we've been in it a number of times, is right out in the blazing sun. It's not covered by trees. There's a tree nearby, but basically you're right out in the blazing sun. And no, I can't do that. I can't do that. And then you get that sunburn, and it's terrible. You could get sun cancer, skin cancer. How are you, Hockey 92.7 FM? Rocky Mountain Red Wing. Hello, everyone. And Jack. Hi, welcome. It was so hot, I saw two hobbits trying to throw a ring in the backyard. Now, see, if I was up on hobbits, I would get the joke, but I'm not too good with hobbits. I know very little about them. I never saw that movie. There's movies about hobbits, right? It's after my time. Everybody says it's before my time. That's after my time. How do you do? Do. Tessie J is here from Liverpool, England. How hot was it? Jokes. Love it. Well, yeah. They wrote them for Johnny Carson on a hot day, and there were plenty of hot days in Southern California. It never rains in Southern California, but man, don't they warn you. It pours. It pours in the month of February. That's when the houses start sliding down the hill. Yeah, I was there. Came out of a theater in February in downtown Hollywood, and people were applauding the rain. Oh, they loved it. It was like, I thought they were going to grab an umbrella and a top hat and start doing Singing in the Rain. Yeah. Jody Smith, evening, just got off of work. Very cool. Jody's very secretive about what she actually does. I'm fasting for blood work. Isn't that a drag? In the morning, just routine stuff. It's never hard for me to fast for morning blood work, though, because I don't eat till about noon or 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. And if I have a 2 o'clock doctor's appointment and I think he's going to want to take blood, I go in having not eaten, because that's my schedule, basically, I had a naughty test today, I'll tell you. Naughty test with this real cutie named Megan. Anybody ever have this Doppler test, when they want to check your legs, the veins in your legs and stuff like that? Oh, it's naughty. She told me to take off me trousers. And she gave me some piece of paper to throw over me, just me trousers. Shorts, of course. Of course, I was wearing shorts. It was 100 degrees. I don't know what this piece of paper is for, because she says, well, I'm going to start at the groin and go down. Now, the operative line when a young lady tells you to take your pants off would be, of course, you first. But I would never do that. I would never be that kind of a Pervert. Brenda Noyce. Jack, hello. Oh, man. I mean, I was ready today. I put on the Mando. All I have is the top now because I'm running out of Mando. That's the top. I got to buy some more Mando. Oh, Mando. Well, you came and you gave without taking, but I sent you away. Oh, Mando. And of course, Megan was just thinking, why can't John Stamos ever? No, she wouldn't think that. So why can't Bad Bunny ever come in for this test? I got to get these old guys, these old guys. Didn't plan to go there. Linda Justice, basically my schedule also, yes. So, hot doggies or druggies? We're putting copper back in air conditioner. Copper coming back into the ACs, huh? Okay, I didn't know that. What about what's next for the car? They took that away for the car air conditioners. Freon, right? Freon is now illegal. If you have some, and I know some people that do, you can get a fair price for it on the underground market, That's for the old school stand-up air conditioners, the old school ones, Central Air, old style. Every year, they have little air conditioners in the house, a few of them, but they never get the main air conditioner. It's been years now. These guys, there's no excuse for it. You start planning it in March, but they can't accomplish that. They can't accomplish that. So the house bakes. Part of the house is baking. Let's see what else. R12 now is 13.4A. God knows what Neo has ingested tonight. My doc fired me. I have to find a new pain doctor. I see. What did you do that displeased him, Rhonda Wolf? We have 58 watching right now and 23 likes. 23 likes. Let me check my email here. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I heard a few dings. I love the dings. John Udison is here. Well, we knew that already because we've been talking to him. He sent us $20. Big fan here. Oh, well, thank you. I feel kind of like I'm not prepared tonight, to be honest with you. I know how to wing it because being a radio disc jockey, that's what you do. Only on rare occasions did I write down a rap as a song was playing for the next one or for the one that I knew was coming up because it was a little bit of a tongue twister and I wanted to make sure I got it right. So I had it on a card right there. And when it was time to talk up the song, I was reading. But most of the time I was just ad-libbing. So you learn how to do that. You learn how to ad-lib. And I have pupils that are, that do it as well, that are now starting to sound better in their presentation. Somebody named Matt is not beginning every broadcast now with, all right, well, let's see. Is my mic working? Is my mic working? Let's get some people on. I love that one. Let's get some people on here because your time isn't worth crap to me, right? Your time isn't worth crap. I'm going to spend 5 minutes doing what I could have done before I started the freaking camera. But let's do that. I'm asking for blowback, aren't I? So I noticed some people are realizing that is not a professional way to begin a broadcast, and you lose people. But then you got to have good content. Positive content too. We try to do a lot of positive. I guess I'm doing a little complaining today, but I'm certainly very happy with John Udison, who sent us $20 on the Cash App, and Elaine Peterson $10 on the Cash App. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, which is somewhere down there. And my Cash App handle is lowercase letters. I'm only mentioning it early on because two people have used it. Lowercase letters Media Guy 56, MEDIAGUY 56. I'll write that in right here. Oops, I went to another window. Okay, there you go. And there's a thanks button down there that you can use if you would rather. And you don't have to be Dan Rather to do it. Don't ever think you have to be Dan Rather. He's still hanging on. It's sunny and warm here in Aussie land. So, what happened to your winter? You said you were in winter. What do you get? Short winters, or you don't really get winters? You get days when it gets kind of chilly, but then the next day it's like 63 degrees or something. I'm talking Fahrenheit, you know. I canceled my appointment. Oh, well, so you canceled it 5 minutes before the appointment, right? Right? Is that what you did? It happened to me once with a guy who was like my therapist. I don't know what it was because this is not my style to miss appointments, but I missed two appointments. Just flew out of my mind. I don't know why, because it's never happened with anybody else. Almost. I can't say nobody else. Um, it happened with a test a few months ago. But the third time, he never answered me back. That's okay. That was my fault, and I accept responsibility, Heather Feather. So, you know, there's plenty of fish in the sea, Rhonda Wolf. There's plenty of fish in the sea. Um, Sometimes you do have to cancel at the last minute. Things can happen. Things can happen. Anything can happen. Hijacking everyone, says Barbara Kendall, not Barbara, but Barbara Kendall. Hijacking everyone, welcome to you. Here's the I Had a Dream. This is not by Elvis Presley, ladies and gentlemen. Jack had a dream that Pastor Bob is potentially going to have a couple of Elvis's relatives try and sue him over what potentially would be said in the documentary that's after the documentary comes out. Okay. Is this a prophecy or a dream? Well, we'll see. We'll see when this is going to come out. We'll see if it's going to come out. I don't know. I have no updates on it. Things have gone quiet, and that's the way it is. That's the way it is. And it's got to be well done, and especially to get on a good platform and what have you. And I don't know anything about the documentary filmmakers really. So, but I wish them the best. And as far as I know, it's authorized by Household of Faith. It's what I was told by two sources. So we'll see. I'm going to start writing your dreams down, Jody. Like I'm trying to figure out if a prophecy teacher is for real. See if your dreams. So, but yeah, we know dreams are far different than prophecies because we have wild dreams. Some of the things I've dreamt. Faith Lloyd, what about you? What's your wildest dream, Faith Lloyd? Tell us for all the world to know. Hijacking everybody. I'm about to turn into a puddle of water. Huh. Like the Wicked Witch of the West? From the heat. Well, she melted. So you're going to melt, you're saying, huh? Humidity. Where's Sammy, not Sammy lately? Where is Sammy? Are you here, Sam? Check in. Check in. Jody, I heard that they were paid to be quiet, so why would they sue? I heard stuff, Heather. I heard that JFK Jr. was in Jack in the Box the other day in Coral Springs, Florida. Well, Bob Joyce has to be related. So you think he's a love child? A love child, never understood. I'm trying to think of the lyrics to Love Child by the Supremes now. Always second best. Pastor Bob's not second best to anybody. Who knows? I'd be guessing. So is Sunday the day? Anybody know? Can anybody tell me? Is this coming Sunday the last Sunday in June 2025, the first day of Household of Faith? Are we going to have Bob Joyce in the morning and Elvis in the afternoon? Is that what we're going to have this Sunday? Do we have a confirmation? Somebody, a friend of Katie Wilson, can you go on there and check that out if you haven't already? I looked before the broadcast, but was not dealing with limited time and did not find any verification of such. But apparently on Bob Joyce is Alive or one of those Facebook groups, somebody said that this Sunday is going to be it, which would make sense to me. Because they were getting pretty close. So I wish on the very front page of bobjoyce.org, instead of the same old Bob Joyce is not in this, Bob Joyce, that should be somewhere else. On the front page, I got to say two things here. Two things. It'll sound critical, but I'm just trying to help. On the front page, it should be a colorful display of the church, especially the new church when you get it. It shouldn't be the Bob is not this and Bob is not that. That should be in a category you have to click on, not the front page. And it should be a beautiful presentation with nice pictures of him, with the very latest news and what have you. That should be the front page of the website, okay? Now, georgemagazine.com. Are you really trying to promo George Magazine Live? I mean, you got the same crappy promo up. It's the same one from 2 months ago, and it's not very good. You had a much better one last month. You need a straight voice promo with clear information on how they can do it. They shouldn't have to scroll around to find the hotels and stuff. It should be better presented. You know, where's Sabrina on there? I didn't see her when I went. She should be up there now. What the heck is going on here? Are we excited about George Magazine Live, or are we not? Because I don't see any sign of it on the website. I don't see any sign on. I mean, this wrestler seems like he's a very nice chap, but I'm wondering what the heck is going on here. One girl who also seems like, I'd love to hear her speak, lives in her van, and another guy who's a wrestler, and you're dealing with a female audience. What the hell is going on here? Because I don't understand it. The presentation is important. It's time to get with it. It's not time to be how witty can we be. It's time to give the people a beautiful presentation of George Magazine Live 2025. I meant to say none of this, so it must not be me saying it. I never thought I would say any of that, So what can I do, Hockey 92? I don't know why I'm doing these things, but it's from the heart. Come on. 1999. Thank you, Jack. Oh, thank you. I noticed that the baby grand and the drum set were missing in the current church. Yeah, they moved it over to the new church, Sandra Fair. They moved the old piano back in, right? That's what I heard they were going to do. Deborah Smith, yes, Sabrina Joyce is going to speak. Put it up on the front page. Don't make me have to go searching for it. You know, I mean, all these magazine covers coming at you. I will stop there, Um, hey, we got a Chick-fil-A. It's worth going to. Shelly 3, you finally got one in Canada, and we're still waiting for one here in the Hudson Valley. I don't understand it. Thank you, Hockey 92, 1999 again on the thanks button. I really appreciate that. We're way under in terms of the general count, but people have been helping with the Cash App and what have you, so it's not going to be too bad. We're not going to equal last month, but it's not going to be too bad. I can't imagine what unexpected expenses are coming my way this summer, But there you go. Jack, since there's going to be an influx of people who are coming specifically for the new church, is Pastor Bob going to turn people away specifically, knowing that people came from far away? It's an immediate problem, right? It's an immediate problem. And then there's going to be people like Shelley, if she ever showed up there, because I think it was Shelley that said it. Oh, I don't want to be way in the back. I'm so far away, because it was a horse barn, it's narrow, but I think there's 300 seats. But yeah, it's a problem. I thought, are they going to put people in the old church watching flat screens, and then at a certain time after the service? Because it takes a long time, if there's 300 people. I don't know. It's a major problem. I'm still not ruling out that they end up in Hot Springs or some big store that's vacant in downtown Benton, and they use that. But I know they're not happy with the city of Benton regulations, so I don't know. I'm not big on waffle fries, but I know they have them there. Teresa Panel. We lost our Golden Corral. We're never going to get an In-N-Out burger, it seems, but that's okay. I don't need to be eating more burgers. I don't need to be eating more burgers. Look at this now, Jody Smith in 2 shades of blue, midnight blue at $1 on the thanks button, and light blue. Would that be baby blue? Or Jackie Blue. Ooh, Jackie Blue. $1 and $2. Thank you, Jody Smith. That helps. Every bit helps. It helps us towards that goal. And thank you again, Hockey, for hitting the thanks button for $19.99. $19.99. And another $1 from Jody Smith. Thank you very, very much, Jody. Heather, Jack, Billy Smith's grandson is in a MMA. He's an MMA fighter. I've heard that. I don't know too much about boxing, but I know I've heard of MMA fighters. I'll have to check out Billy's channel and see what's going on there. Interesting. My son is going to take me, so he says Rhonda Wolf. I miss when Chick-fil-A or Chick-fil had a potato salad and coleslaw. I don't remember that, Neil. I haven't been for years, though. We used to have one in Rock Hill. I'm sure there still is more than one in Rock Hill, South Carolina. and that's where I experienced Chick-fil-A, and my clown wife actually twisted balloons there a few times when we were off the road. You gotta make money when there's in between times when you're a traveling act. So there you go. 65 watching now. Please sign in. Please subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you'll know when we pop on or put up a pre-recorded video. And I'm just looking at my own backdrop. So potato salad, coleslaw, it's got to be good, or don't ever buy the potato salad coleslaw that comes pre-made from the supermarket. It tastes like they use Miracle Whip. It's yucky. It's yucky. There's only a couple of good places that make good coleslaw around here, and KFC's coleslaw is pretty good. It's pretty good, but there's also the Coney Island restaurant, nothing to do with the amusement park in Brooklyn. And by the way, I got the AC going full tilt and a fan. Thank you. We only have McDonald's, Sonic, and Subway here, population 2,000. You don't have Jersey Mike's, Rhonda. You don't have Wendy's. You don't have Burger King. You don't have Popeyes. You don't have KFC. I kind of hope that it isn't this coming weekend. I wish somebody could verify that for me. Anybody that belongs to Katie's, you're a friend of Katie's on Facebook. When the new church opens, I have a church meeting in Rome, Georgia. Maybe it will be the first Sunday in July. My friend at Household of Faith hasn't texted me yet. Here he is, Todd Bradshaw. He's late to the party. But we welcome him in. Good evening, Jack. Hello, all. Hi, the Tennessee Titan, the Grand Poobah from Ceylon, Tennessee. The Commodores did a song about Todd's town. Why can't I ever remember the name? I don't know. What is your favorite channel? That's an interesting question. What is your favorite channel regarding Elvis? Oh, see, I would have had the answer if you hadn't thrown that in there, Faith. I would have had some great answers for you. I like yours the best. Well, I don't have one. What can I tell you? The ones who put up these short videos have wild information in them sometimes. It's that same voice that you hear on a million different things. Is that an AI voice? I don't know. I hear him. And one day he's saying Bob Joyce is Elvis. The next day he's saying Bob Joyce is not Elvis. So I don't know. Have I ever enjoyed Matt Savina? Yes. I used to like the stuff JJB put up, but he never spoke on camera. Justin, what happened to Justin? Haven't seen him lately. There's not that many. So I don't watch a lot of it. But I do check it out if the title captures my attention. Elaine, my husband preached on this past weekend. On this past weekend? Elaine, they went They want folks to come and stay, not tell the truth. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Jack, how come the churches do not talk about the end times? Well, there's pastors that certainly specialize in it. John Hagee does. And I guess John MacArthur somewhat. Um, I always feel that, I mean, Jack Van Impe, who went on to be with the Lord with Rexella, is she still alive? Rexella, right? Rexella. He did a career on it. He had so many end time videos for sale with his great announcer. Remember that guy, Chuck? Was it? Um, he had $1 million voice. I don't know if he ever used it in the secular world. Probably, but I don't know for sure. And I just think so many times pastors are preoccupied with scolding the flock. And in 2025, that's another thing that's not going to bring them in. It's not going to bring them in. The grace preachers, to me, have always had more of a ability to pull people into the church. That's why I don't totally castigate Joel Osteen, even though he's very light on the scriptures and never seems to mention hell or sin or what have you. I'm not going to endorse Joel Osteen, but I'm not going to condemn him as a false teacher either. You can be wrong and not be evil, but his lifestyle is so extravagant that I think it sets a very bad example. I don't expect him to drive a small Hyundai, but come on now, come on. Hello, Jack and family. Katina Swatsworth is of all people, right? What do you think, Katina? Does your preacher do a lot of scolding in his sermons? Seems to be something that I've noticed. Pastor John Torres, we went there for 5 years, and I was his announcer for his radio show. He wasn't a scolder, but he was a let you knower, you know. I gave him a few sermon titles just by talking to him. Like I said, the Lord isn't giving me any wiggle room. And he looked at me and said, wiggle room. That's a good sermon topic. So I waited about 5 weeks and he preached wiggle room, the wiggle room sermon. Yeah, we have a lot of the same people here, and that is encouraging. And of course, I always get excited when new people come on as well. If you are new and you haven't said hello, please do. Um, Even if you use a fake name, let us know where you're from too. There's 72 watching right now. 72 watching. Teresa Panel hits the Cash App. Lowercase letters Media Guy 56 for $5. Thank you so much, Teresa. You're helping me out there, and you've done it a number of times before, and I appreciate that. Thank you. So thank you, Teresa, John Udison, and Elaine Peterson. Elaine Peterson. How hot is it, Todd, in Tennessee? How hot is it? I know we've been hotter than Florida a few times this week. So we're looking forward to Friday when it's going to cool down, just in time for the Friday night concerts. I don't know where we're going to see this Friday night concert. We got Modern Jazz downtown when it was supposed to be Tangent that everybody loves. I don't know what happened there. On Tangent's schedule, which they don't update enough, it says that they're going to be downtown, but they're not. It's Modern Jazz. And now in Pine Bush, it's the Bunker Boys for some fine bluegrass. So that's a strong possibility. Been there before. Just looking at what people what right. Um, Pastor Bob is an encourager, right, Elaine? He's an encourager. Um, he gets some, he gets some correcting in there, of course, but he is an encourager. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Carla Eldridge. Where are you watching us from tonight? I probably asked you before. 96 degrees today. Yeah, I think we might have topped you. Seemed hotter than that. Extreme weather these days, right? In all seasons, extreme weather. We don't get the snow that we used to get. I mean, back in the day, and it's not that many years ago that we had a major snowstorm here. But in the last, since the pandemic, you know, 2, 3, 4 inches more ice, but cold, 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 cold. Less warm days spouting up in winter like we used to get. If you go back in my live videos, you'll see on Christmas 2023, I think it was, I'm outside doing a live broadcast, and I'm telling you, it's beautiful enough. It's like a spring day on Christmas Day a few years back. You're in New Mexico. Yeah, I remember now. Because we always talk about Tucumcari and Albuquerque. It's like the only two places I know, right? And yeah, I have to admit, I don't like when it gets this hot, but I'm not complaining because winters here are just a drag. Um, uh, Up here in this room, there's no heat. There's what you call gravity heat. Brad sleeps right next to the heater down there in what is really the living room. Um, and So the heat comes up here, but it doesn't do enough. So I have to have a space heater, but that drives the bill up. So I try not to use it. I got like 4 or 5 blankets on the bed. Uh, and forced to stay in New York, for now, we'll see what the future brings. I don't know, but I cannot abandon Karen. That lovely spontaneous combustion heat outside, says Neo. Well, that's an inventive comment. Yeah. It's been on the cooler side here in Washington State. Oh, I always forget you're from there, Elaine. Why do I forget that? Washington State. How far are you from Seattle? Because that's all I know. Let's see, what else do I know in Washington State? Not much. I love Pastor Bob. His heart is right. So if I find out that, Katina, do you know for sure? Because you had mentioned that this next Sunday is going to be it. But when I clicked on your post, it was just that cover photo of Pastor Bob again for the very latest email you sent me. Half Pastor Bob, half Elvis. I wonder why they do that. As their cover on Bob Jels, yes, Bob Jels, Bob Joyce, alive as Elvis Presley, whatever they call themselves. There's a bunch of them. 85 miles north of Seattle, huh? Okay. Please pray we can find the transformer to fix my parents' air conditioning. It's been 95. That's too hot for them. To 105 the last few days. So far, the place fixing it up can't find one. So I know that in our supermarkets, even here, the small air conditioner, you got to have one in the bedroom. Do they have one in the bedroom? $119. $119. Now, if you look on, it's the wrong time of the year to look on eBay because everybody's buying them, but for a better price. But the $119 for, that's all that is back there. This is like my 4th, 5th, 6th year using it, and it's still doing good. It's still doing good. But for a big room, like I don't know what year it was. It was at least 2018, if not earlier, when Karen saw on eBay or whatever that there was this big air conditioner for sale, and called the number, and sure enough, it hadn't been taken. They didn't list the price, thank God. They didn't list the price. So we went out there. It was not too far from Goshen. Nice man, and his son lived in the garage. Well, it was a standalone garage, and he had his pad upstairs, and I think they got a new air conditioner, or they were putting in central air or something there. And this big air conditioner was for sale, and was Karen and I. And I said, "Well, how much do you want?" He said, $20 is good. The best $20 we ever spent, or I ever spent. He helped me get it in the car. I couldn't lift it. I helped, That was before I was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy. And then Andy and somebody else helped him move. It just fit in the window downstairs. Just fits in the window. Beautifully air conditions the living room and into the kitchen as well, with a little help from a fan. The best $20 I ever spent. Huh. I like Pastor Bob and his ministry. I'm in limbo in deciding if he is Elvis. Yeah, that's okay. But the Catholic Church doesn't believe in limbo anymore. Just keep that in mind. Jack, think of the concept of limbo, that God would keep a little baby infant in this in-between holding room forever. There's a lot of things I don't understand, and that would be high on the list. There's 63 watching and 38 likes right now. Let me see here. So I'm waiting for an update on the George Magazine website that's more cohesive, like a 60-second spot I could play, like I could play last year. It's not there that I can see. Update it, get Sabrina in there, because she's coming, right? I'll be real honest with you. Here I go again. Get myself in trouble. I'm probably never going to go there, to be honest with you. Obviously, I can't go in August. The very start date for George Magazine Live is Karen's surgery date. So that's what's meant to be. But what was I going to say now? Maybe I'm not supposed to say it. Say. What was I talking about? Okay, I probably wasn't meant to say it. LOL. Love you, Jack, and stay cool, says Brenda Sage. She's very wise, with a name like that. Hello, everybody. Hi, Brenda. You are one of our 3 Brendas, at least 3. Karen comes first, Jack. That's true. And it would be really hard for me to get out there at that time, in heat, and the expense would be enormous for me, being where I am, that kind of thing. Are there any youth at the church? I don't think so. Not too many. Maybe 1 or 2. Well, the Gene Host kids are there, but his son plays in the band. He's not that young anymore. So they're hoping to have an expanded presence of local people. But again, 300 seats with so many visitors won't cut it. So who knows what they're going to do. Sabrina, you were talking about Sabrina at George Live. Yes. I saw it somewhere. I can't find it again. Somebody sent it to me, but she is going to speak, I think, predominantly to the women because that's the core audience. See? Say? Uh, she's going to speak on a specific topic. Can you help me out, Katina, on what she's going to speak about? Geared at women, geared at women. And I hope she sings a song or two because she's very good at it. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Um, there were some kids last time we went. My grand doll went in the back to Sunday school, really, with the other kids. Okay. That's the first time I'm ever hearing that. So that's good news. Keep hearing Generation Z is more interested in church than millennials. Yeah, they would have had to do that on their own because so many millennials didn't teach their children. That's all. That's why we're having so many problems with the Z and the Y crowd because they have no moral compass at all. The millennial parent rebelled about past morals and past rules and said, I'm not going to do that to my kids. So they ended up with a kid that was, doing what they gosh darn felt like all the time and disrespecting you. There's your gift. Jack, did you hear Alexandra Ocasio Cortez wants to impeach President Donald Trump? Well, she's like the sixth or seventh so far. There's what was that guy's name who looks like Jimmy Fallon, but he's Asian, 70 years old, and he doesn't look 70. Did Jimmy Fallon ever do that guy? If not, that's a shame because he could have made it funny, but it wouldn't have been progressively correct of him, you know. Wouldn't be progressively correct. When he was too nice to Trump, he caught hell for that, you know. So I would just tell my audience, I can't but no, I can't help but notice that Stephen Colbert's ratings are in the sewer, and Jimmy Kimmel's ratings were cut well in half. And my ratings are not very good because people think I'm too silly and foolish. So I'm going to do something different here. I'm going to do something different here. And I'm going to try to go for the adults, you know? I mean, you wouldn't put it that way, but you just do it. You just do it. Do it. Do it till you're satisfied. Come on and do it. Do it. Do it till you're satisfied. You know what I mean? Good night, everyone, says Katina. Rest well, prayers and sweet dreams are made of this. Thank you, Katina. So we don't know. We don't know for sure about the church this Sunday at the new location. Nobody has given me anything on that. No, no, no. Very true, Jack. Then the schools back the kids versus the parents, right? Because they're evil teachers and those school boards. My God, this is not in every place, of course, but it's in more and more places. So we went to Golden Corral yesterday because sometimes you just got to do that for supper, which is a slice of heaven. And Karen wanted to go, and I thought, let's do it on a Tuesday night. Won't be too busy. It's busy enough, but nothing like the weekends when they've got like, I don't know, 250, 275 people in there, maybe. Yeah, they can hold that many. They have 2 party rooms and they only open up, if they don't have a party schedule, they only open up the party rooms if they are so busy they have to. So we went to Golden Corral, and then the plan was is we would stop and vote for one of the 2 candidates for mayor. Now, we weren't really thinking about this. Maybe Karen doesn't want me to share this now that I think about it. But so we stop at our usual polling place. Karen brings the Chinese food in the container wrapped up in the bag for Andy. We won't leave it in the car. or maybe we did leave it in the car because there was hardly anybody there. So we knew we'd be in and out, and we would have been. We were out real fast because they said, "Oh no, unless you want to change to Democratic Party right now, you can't vote. This is a Democratic primary, and there's no Republicans running in the city." There used to be at one time we had a Republican mayor or two, but there's no Republicans, so there won't be a November election. Whoever wins the primary is the mayor, and the mayor who's been in term now for I don't know 16 years, whatever. It was an interruption, and then he came back for and he's been mayor ever since. And so, as was expected, he won 3-1 over a gentleman that had seemed to have a lot of signs up and stuff like that. But anyway, so we have no say in who the mayor is or any other candidate in this city because they're all Democrats, and we can't vote. We can't. Even if there's, a primary situation when one Democrat is running against another Democrat, we are not allowed to vote. Oh boy. So half the city of Middletown had no voice. No voice. That's democracy in action. That's democracy in action. Aline Peterson, you should have seen the kids marching in the Pride Parade with adults cheering them on. Yeah. What often happens is, your son or daughter announces that they're gay, and they're going to be marching in the parade when they're 16, 17, 18, whatever. And the parents go down and cheer them on. Now, I'm not, I'm not making judgment calls and what have you. But I do know in some of these parades, you hear, and the way they dress is not something you want to bring little kids to. I remember the reward that Bill and Hillary got for being very supportive of gay people is they had a gay pride parade that passed Washington, and the news media captures them screaming, "Hey, Hillary, bring Chelsea out here. We'll make a real woman out of her." Who would have been about 14, 15 at the time. There you go. That's right. Thank you, Shelley. Rest in peace, Bobby Sherman. Julie, 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 do you love me? Julie, 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 do you care? Julie, Julie, are you thinking of me? Julie, Julie, will you soon be there? 3 big hits, That Little Woman and Easy Come, Easy Go. Anybody watch Here Comes the Bride with Bobby Sherman back in the day? I never did. But, here's a guy who was a pretty big teen idol for a while, huge. And then David Cassidy comes along and kind of dethrones him. And then Donny Osmond comes along and almost dethrones David Cassidy. But there was kind of enough room for both of them, because David was so huge. But Donny became bigger than David eventually. And so Bobby didn't stay in the entertainment business. He trained to become a paramedic in Los Angeles. And that led to him training other paramedics. And then he became a sheriff's deputy, too, at the same time. Imagine, the ambulance pulls up and there's Bobby Sherman. So, and then eventually, as all the tours, like the Happy Together tour, the Turtles are not in the Happy Together tour anymore. Even Flo, Eddie has been too sick. That's Howard Kamen, who sang Happy Together, and She'd Rather Be With Me and Eleanor, all the Turtle songs. He was the lead voice. You show me how to live. Da, 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 da. So Ron Dante he sang with a number of groups. He sang Every Time I Hear Your Name, I Love You. 1, 2, 3, red light. He sang with the 1910 Fruit Gum Company, Simon Says, and Yummy, 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 I got love in me tummy. That was all Ron Dante. But the biggest song he ever sang was a song written by Andy Kim. Sugar, honey, honey, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Sing it, Shelley. Sugar, sugar. So Ron Dante is the lead singer of the Turtles these days, but love Bobby Sherman. Seemed like a really nice man. Bill Mooney put up a really nice post. Bill just turned 70 years old. That's Will Robinson from Lost in Space. Yeah. Uh, Check and follow Bill Mooney out. His music is great. You can find it on Spotify. I'm sure you can find some here on YouTube. He's got a new album out, and he does some really thoughtful lyrics. He really does. Bill Mooney, 70 years old, got grandkids, still lives in California. And he was saying he worked with Bobby Sherman, and he was one of the nicest men he ever met. One of the nicest men. And so Bill Mooney gets to the set of Lost in Space. Now, he's already done a very memorable Twilight Zone where he had these magical powers where he could basically kill adults if he wanted to. You had to keep him happy. Anybody remember this Twilight Zone app? He wanted what he wanted, and you better give it to him because he could kill you if he wanted to. That was Bill Mooney on Lost in Space. Brenda Sage says, Jack, don't give up your day job. Well, I'm not a singer, Brenda, if that's what you mean. I played the music on the radio, and I don't have a day job anymore. Thank God. Thank God. But anyway, he gets to the set of Lost in Space, and that's where he meets Angela Cartwright from Sound of Music fame, and also, of course, the Danny Thomas show. Angela played his young daughter on the Danny Thomas show, and now she's doing Lost in Space in the mid-'60s. He said, I fell in love with her the first day of rehearsals for Lost in Space, and I loved her the entire time. But I was younger, and she wouldn't give me the time of day until after Lost in Space, where I got out and got my driver's license, got a car, and then he came back to the same on-school set. He had to ask special permission. He had to be in that classroom with Angela Cartwright, and because someone was going to take her, steal her away. And they said, yeah, Bill, you can still come. And at that point, they began a torrid love affair, Angela Cartwright and Bill Mooney, his very first love. So there you go. Now let me catch up to these. Jada Mills is here. I haven't heard that about Ronnie M. Who, Ronnie Millsap? When you say Ronnie M, I don't know who that is. Ronnie McDowell? Somebody said something about somebody? Do like the shirt. Well, thank you, Neo. It's authentically Hawaiian. A gift from Carol down in the wonderful Free State of Florida. Oh, how I'd love to live there. Just not this time of the year. I'll come around December, when all the bad weather is gone, and I'll stay till about April. That's enough of Florida. Then I'm going to Maine. These are my dreams, Mr. Chavez. Where are you? I just saw your name. There he is, Joe Chavez. Jack is the fashion influencer, really, huh? Well, maybe I'll have to change my name then, huh? To Jack Versace. Jack Versace. Was there a member of the Monkees named Dave or Davy? Sure, Davy Jones, God rest his soul. After all, he did date Marsha on one episode of the Brady Bunch. He actually came to sing at her prom or whatever it was. Davy Jones, God rest his soul. I saw him right down here at the Orange County Fair years ago. That was the only time I ever saw him. I think all four Monkees were there. Maybe not Peter, but I'm not sure. And love Davy. A very unexpected death, something to do with the heart, I believe. You heard that? Okay. Ronnie McDowell had a mini stroke. I have not heard that. The king is gone, right? He said it. He said he was dead. The king is gone. I played that song at WBUZ, The Sound of the Country, in about 1978. I played that song. I remember it. He could really sound like Elvis, too, Ronnie. He could. So prayers for Ronnie if that is the case. No clue what the discussion is about. The monkeys are 1,000 years old. People are saying weird stuff tonight. Good God, we are old. Well, that's how it was when I went to the 50th class reunion, high school reunion that I only got to go to because Karen actually graduated. I dropped out the very day I turned 16. You guys know this. I'm not going to go into the whole story. Um, but you go in and there's all these old people. And I say to myself, how come these people my age are so old? And some didn't look that old. Some didn't look that old. Ziggy, who was in St. Joseph's Catholic school, so I've known Zygmunt 60 years, still looks very much like himself, but he got no hair on the top. He's got it on the sides, long, hanging down. But he looks good. He looks good. And we talked a little bit, and I said, we don't have to die at 77, right? I know that's the projected age for men. That's because you women drive us crazy, work us to death. The word goal just came up there. Oh, yes, we have a goal. Please hit the thanks button so I can make the goal. Please hit the thanks button for any amount or the Cash App. But that was standing there having that experience because there were at least 8 people there that I've known for 60 years that were in St. Joseph's School in 1965, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade. They threw me out. They threw me out at the end of sixth grade. And they threw Michael out, but he didn't adjust well to public school. And since the family was pretty well known, they let him come back in October. I didn't know that until he told me that. Yes, thank you. I love that episode. You love the Davy episode, huh? Well, us guys were all obsessed with Marcia. But in my fantasy life, Christopher Knight should have been the one with Marcia. I mean, take the best looking guy who's making the teen magazines far more than Barry. And Barry was a good looking guy. Still is at 71 or 2, whatever he is. But I mean, that was who I thought should be together. But it was definitely Greg that, you know what I'm saying? For a little while. Joe, what are you saying? No clue what this discussion. Oh, yes, I remember that. A state hopper, are you? A state hopper. Obviously, Brenda's been drinking tonight. What do you what did you have? A little Jameson? Little Jameson, did you? Davy Jones, yeah, he was great. He was great. Only sang a few of the Monkees' hits. Mickey Dolenz was really the lead voice. And Mickey's still singing those songs the best he can. I think maybe with his sister Coco. I think she's still around. When I went up to the Monticello Raceway, which was really a Racino a few years back, well, a good years back, maybe 2015, something like that, Mickey was there with his sister Coco for a concert. They had a nice concert room and saw them there. And I've seen him 2 other times. How about Woodford Reserve, says Neo. Well, you like this fringe stuff, this wild stuff. You probably could tell me all about Raiders of the Lost Ark and what am I trying to say? Those other type films like that, You've probably seen every Star Wars movie, haven't you? And I'm just not that. It's not my kind of movie. I did watch a little and was highly entertained by some of the bits I saw. I did. Boy, Mark Hamill turned out to be a jerk, huh? He's politically as stupid as Jason Bateman, and I don't understand. I don't understand. Jack, Ronnie McDowell suffered the mini stroke on stage. Oh, dear. On June 21st. I'll have to look that up. Okay. That's terrible. Good thing it's a mini stroke. I usually can recover from that quite nicely. 262, Sun Bliss. Never tried it, Blue Sky. But I think the popcorn is cooked in the hot dog oil. And what is that? What is that golden mist? Sounds like something from a very kinky porn movie. I can't believe I said that. Oh, it's the disc jockey coming out of me, folks. No, I wouldn't have said that on the air. I wouldn't have said that. Cancel that. That's just Carnal Jack. Carnal Jack. You heard of Cardinal Jack? I'm Carnal Jack sometimes. It slips out. But I mean, this golden mist. What the heck is it? Something below the margarine level? And people would want more. Can I have more of that? Another hit that one more time for me, will you? It's got to get to the bottom, you know. I'll be all dry. What if my soda runs out, you know? Mickey's great. Yeah, Mickey's great. He sang those rockin' tunes like Steppin' Stone, Last Train to Clarksville, I'm a Believer, whereas Davy sang Daydream Believer, and Valerie, and one more that I can't think of at the moment, Elaine. In all my work history, was I never asked to show a high school diploma or a GED. What's it all about, Alfie? I think I was. I don't know what for, though. Daz, Darren, Bastable. Wake up, Sleepy Jean. Yeah. Wake up, Sleepy Jean now. Oh, see, the writer of that song was displeased that they changed the lyric. Let me see here. Look up the lyrics. But he wanted the money, so he wasn't going to say no. The writer. Got to write the word lyrics, dummy. Um, oh, I could hide beneath the wings of the bluebird as she sings. The 6 o'clock alarm would never ring. But 6 rings and I rise, wipe the sleep from my eyes. My shaven razor's cold and it stings. I don't even remember these lyrics. All right. This is the lyric they changed in verse 2. You once thought of me as a white knight on his steed. What the heck am I reading? As a white knight on his steed. Now you know how happy I can be. That's not the lyric. That makes no sense at all, as the writer said when they said, we can't say what you're saying. How about if we change it? Now you know how happy. They wanted to, the writer wanted to convey, you thought I was a white knight, but now you know how rebellious I can be. I'm forgetting the word he used. Now you know how, not surly, I don't think. Now how, something else, but not happy. He was saying, you think I'm this white knight, but I'm really not. But they were not happy with Davy singing that. And the monkeys had no pull at this time. So they asked if they could change the lyric to now you know how happy I can be. The writer said, that doesn't make any sense, but go ahead, because he wanted that big payday. He wanted that big payday. I remember that story. So So many topics, I know. It's just a family gathering this time around, But what did I put as the title? That we were going to talk about the Bob Joyce world. So the Bob Joyce world is we're waiting for confirmation that the church is this Sunday in the new location. And if it is this Sunday in the new location, at another location I do not yet know, uh, after we're going to go from Bob Joyce to Elvis in the same day, and we're going to do this once a month. And of course, capturing the magic of Elvis Presley will be Pastor Bob Joyce's son, Matt Joyce, at an undisclosed locations. And not only that, there'll be tamales. I'm freezing as I look at the screen. Am I stopping and freezing here a little bit? Looks like it to me as I watch the live stream. So there'll be tamales. There'll be Elvis and tamales. There'll be Bob Joyce, then Elvis tamales. And wouldn't you expect Pastor Bob Joyce to show up at, especially the first Matt Joyce doing his Elvis show? You can't make this stuff up. How bizarre. How bizarre. Can you find anything this bizarre? So, I'd love to go. I'd love to go to the whole shebang. Let's see. If I start driving now, I might make it. So excited to see the new church, says 262 Sun Bliss. Here today, gone tamale. No, it's not that. It's cold today, hot tamale. Come on. Don't blow it, Neil. I've told you about this before. Here's Glenn Family Vlogs. We talked about that big time. It freezes, but we still hear you despite the freeze. Well, it's surely not freezing temperature-wise. Don't know what the current temperature is right now. It just says rainy days ahead. Okay, 78 degrees. No, down to 77. WABC, the defense rest in the Sean Diddy Combs, Puff Daddy, Sean John trial, everybody. The defense rest. That means closing arguments next, right? Right? Am I right, Todd? I used to point the hairdryer at my forehead to fake a fever. Wasn't there something where people would put a penny in their mouth or something? Or am I just dreaming this? To fake a fever, my mom caught on quick, though. Oh, I see, because she's just going to feel your forehead. I've never heard that one, Todd. I've never heard that one. I remember when I worked for the city of New York as a peace officer, we got quite a bit of sick time and other time, and you'd want to take a sick day some nights when you're doing overnights. It gets to the point you're so tired, or maybe you had something fun you wanted to do, So you'd call in sick and they'd say, well, this time you're going to need a note because it's your third instance in 3 months or something like that. So there I be at Middletown Medical, and Dr. Ample, God rest his soul, wonderful man. I remember him saying, well, I can't give you a note because I don't have a diagnosis. Play along, Doc. Play along. Dr. Ample. Then I was working at the hospital after Camp LaGuardia closed, and I looked on the patient roster, and there was Dr. Ample as a patient, and I knew that wasn't good, and that was the start of his decline. And he looked so healthy, but he's been gone for a number of years now. One night we were up at the Newburgh airport waiting for, I forget who I was waiting for, whether it was my son, my daughter, or somebody else. And Dr. Ample was there waiting for his family. I remember that. You're fine, Jack. No freezing. Good. I don't feel like I'm freezing. I just saw myself freeze. I'm doing it again. It looks like I'm occasionally freezing. Too hot. Are we talking about Victoria Winters is too hot? Or are we talking about Donna McKenzie? who was a Broadway legend, who was on Dark Shadows for, she was only on for like 4 months. I know I wasn't going to talk about Dark Shadows too. She was only on for like 4 months. In the later years, the later episodes, so beautiful. And that, that was in 1969 or 70, 69 or 70 when she was on Dark Shadows. And now in 2025, she does another play. It may not be on Broadway, it could be in California or a small town. And at the end, she comes out of the theater, and guess who's waiting for her? Dark Shadows fans. She can't believe it. She cannot believe it. She was only on for 4 months. All the rest of her work is theater. And I mean, big stuff. She was in a chorus line and stuff like that, and big roles. She was recently in Wicked on Broadway. And to this day, she says, in any given show, there are Dark Shadows fans that came specifically because she's in it. That is the power of an incredible TV show. The weather, Jack, the weather, pay attention. What do I want to say about the weather, brother? The weather outside is frightful, but in here, it's pure delightful. I'm freezing, I see it. And since we've got no place to go, more worldwide ramblings, more worldwide ramblings, more worldwide ramblings. Good night, Barbara. Sleep well. We never really got to talk to BK. Pastor Bob would approve of the ramen noodles cooked in Coca-Cola. Oh boy, people are saying weird stuff tonight. Weird stuff. Neo was talking about a new golf course. What the heck is all that all about? A new golf course. Trump to build a new golf course in Iran. First 3 holes have already been made. That's a good one, Neo. I like it. I like it. Obviously a parody, it says on there. I like that part too. All right, I'll take a pic. I'll take a pic to share. And then it cuts off. I got to focus this camera right. Cuts off the words, and now I'm frozen again. This is not working out, Neo. I'll have to get it in a thumbnail. That's a good one. That's a good one. Todd Bradshaw hits the Cash App for $25 for a new hairdryer fund. Well, Karen uses a hairdryer once in a while, but not too much. She's got one over there because she doesn't want to blow out the curls, and I have no curls anymore. I did in the 80s, Todd. I went and got myself a big perm. Oh, man. This is not going to, well, maybe I can get this one. Okay, Todd, I did it. This is after I had just gotten a perm. Thank you so much, Todd, for the $25 on the Cash App. Lowercase letters, Media Guy 56, MEDIAGUY 56. This is when I had just gotten the perm. I'm sitting in the production studio, I believe, at Wall Radio. Going to be doing me some commercials. Here we are. And boy, it's freezing. Here we are. There I am in the production studio, about 145 pounds there, and I had just gotten my perm. 1985, maybe? 1985. Oh, yes. Memories like the corners of my mind. Here's a very dark picture when I was with the first Karen. So that would have been in the early 80s. And the perm was growing out, looking really cool. But I don't know how well you'll see it because the picture is dark. It's in our apartment. And I'm really freezing here. There I am. Look at that hair. A lot of hair. And a lot of permed hair right there. So there you go. That's me in the 80s. Thank you, Todd Bradshaw. Yeah, you don't have to put a $sign before Media Guy 56. Just Media Guy 56. The $sign not needed. Jody Smith, I had a dream. Jody's busy in the dream department. I think she's taken a lot of those ashwagandhas that President Trump will have a third term, and I will be through a very cold, forgotten document that will allow him to have a third term. What? It will be through a very old, forgotten document that will allow him to have a third term. I think Congress would have to vote on that. Leo Sayer hairdo, says Nancy DeMarco. I quite liked it. Thank you. That picture has some dark shadows. Have the Greg Brady hair. Huh. Teresa Pano is talking to Elaine Peterson, Victoria's Secret models. Is there an apple? If there is an apple, then there is a banana. Things that make you go, Has anybody seen Ted Richards around? He was with us one of the last shows, because we did both Saturday and Sunday. I think he was on Sunday. And, he gave me a list of all the ailments he's had, and it's extensive. He has been through far more than his share, just like Chris Starry. And, or I may be thinking about Adam Davidson gave me a list. Yeah, it was Adam Davidson. And it's unbelievable. My heart goes out to him, and I pray at night before I climb into bed for them and others. He's not well. Ted is not well. You still have your hair. I rebuke hair loss, says Blue Sky Sons. Oh, dear. Oh, I'm wearing down here. Still 44 watching, 43 likes. Let's get it up past the, we dropped to 41. A few more likes needed there. You make me feel like dancing, gonna dance the night away. When I Need You was a good song. Bob Ross had a perm. There's a whole Bob Ross channel. Did you know that, Neo? Have you seen the Bob Ross channel? I have a feeling you have. Somebody has. The most mellow guy in the world. What a soothing voice, huh? But yeah, there's a whole Bob Ross channel. He died fairly young, though. He did die fairly young. I don't know, Trump is so busy in this role that he is, I think he's going to be tired and ready to give it up. He works very, very hard, and he's always got deals in his head. And look what happened at the NATO summit. They all seem to love him, whether they really do or not. I don't know. Looks like we're freezing quite a bit tonight. I can see it when I move my hand back and forth. I don't know why that is. Shouldn't be too heavy of a streaming night. We had a ton of mosquitoes in Minnesota. 10,000 lakes and 10 billion of those insects. We call them the state bird. Oh, that's terrible. They are so annoying. And, there's a few of them that can kill you. 49 watching, 43 likes. Somebody hit the like button. Carla Eldridge says, wow, to something. So, yeah, keep Ted Richards in prayer, Christari. And Katina's daughter, Katrisa. Yeah, I enjoyed some of that too. Bob Ross painting Teresa panel. Mosquito is the Alaskan state bird. They are bad there. They don't freeze to death, Elaine? They don't freeze to death? When Robin Williams did the movie Insomnia with Al Pacino and what's the female co-star of Insomnia? She played the male soldier. She was trying to pretend she was a male, and she somehow got into the army or something. Can't think of her name right now. But when he did the movie Insomnia in Alaska, Robin, he said it wasn't the end of the world, but you could see it from there. And so, you're dealing with, I think, a lot of darkness. It's dark most of the time and what have you. There's a time when I know it's always dark, but they didn't shoot the movie at that time. Or a time where it's always light, the sun doesn't go down. I think that's when they may have shot the movie. And Al Pacino is having a hard time sleeping for various reasons. And so there was downtime, and Robin Williams decided one day he'd been on the wagon for a long time. He thought, I could drink a little bit. He says from then on in, it was downhill all the way. It was, don't be drunk. Now you've got to work. You've got to film. Wait until the day is over, and then you'll have some more drink. And by the end of the movie, he had to go into rehab. Had to go back into rehab. He was raging alcoholic again. Well, you're always once an alcoholic, I guess, always. I would think Jesus could make the difference, though. We seem to be freezing a lot as I look. Teresa Lee Leonard, I see you there. Yeah. Everybody's talking about mosquitoes now. Everybody. In our town, we had 14 bars and 13 churches. That's interesting. A lot of bars in Fredonia, New York, where I got my start in radio. And as I recall at the time, I'm freezing, aren't I? As I recall at the time, none of them had live music. Unless somebody brought their guitar in. Ah. Chris Renfro is here. Sometimes the congregation would forget where they were at. Ha ha ha. I see. That's a lot of churches. There's quite a few churches here, but I don't think they're well attended anymore, to be honest with you. Wow, to all that hair, Jack. Those were the days, my friend. I thought they'd never end. Oh, I knew they would end. That's true, Carla. That's true. If a mosquito bites a born again Christian, does it fly away singing, "There is power in the blood"? I have to admit, that's pretty creative. All right. In closing with scripture in James chapter 3, verse 13, who is wise and understanding among you? Let him show it by his good life, by deeds done in the humility that comes from wisdom. But if you harbor bitter envy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not boast about it or deny the truth. Such wisdom does not come down from heaven, but is earthly, unspiritual, of the devil. For where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you find disorder and evil practice. But the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere. From James, the 3rd chapter in the NIV. So that's about all we have as we get to the 2-hour mark here almost. Thank you so much for those who hit the thanks button here. You can always do that. And the Cash App, lowercase letters, Media Guy 56. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Todd, for hitting the Cash App tonight. Teresa, John Udison, and Elaine Peterson. Thank you, Hockey92, for the Cash App. For the thanks button. 92.7 FM, Hockey. Appreciate you so much. Thank you, Teresa Panel. Same thing. And Jody Smith. Thank you. We'll be back on Saturday night, if not before, with Worldwide Ramblings. Should be cooler then. It's supposed to cool down by Friday here. Some areas can never say that. So thanks everybody for watching. Did Lynn Redgrave just came on? Lynn R at the tail end here. Hi, Lynn. Watch the replay if you can. Nice to see you. What's going on? Now, you can always tell me in the comments section of the replay for this 25th of June. Jack Willard saying, big God bless you. Bye-bye for now.